Hey, it's Paul Blough. We're going to talk about physical security related to HIPAA regulations and what your concerns and considerations should be related to that. Now, I know we're talking about information technology, and so you may not think that physical security really relates to it, but it has a lot to do with it. In fact, it's probably one of your very first lines of defense. Now, you have some things in place most likely already. That could be something like a camera system that you have employed to make sure that you've got a video record, or just a discouragement of people going where they're not supposed to go. You may have an alarm system on the building that prevents people from getting in hours that they're not supposed to be there. Those are all great resources, but there's some additional considerations that you need to make as well. Visibility of screens and even printed documents is incredibly important to keep in mind. If you've got information that's exposed unnecessarily, that can be a real issue. So for instance, if you've got a work environment designed so that other patients' information is always accessible to somebody walking by, that could be construed as a HIPAA violation and certainly would put you somewhat at risk. And so oftentimes we can do something just simply adjusting the size of the monitor, or the angle of the monitor. We could do things like putting a screen filter on the monitor, which only lets the person sitting right in front of it see it. Sometimes it's just rearranging positioning of computers into localities that are not widely trafficked by patients or other individuals. Now, that's not always possible, so you do the best that you can in regards to that. Another thing to consider is the ability to take something physically out of your office. One of the considerations you want to make is if somebody were to come into your office and steal after hours, for instance. There is some very good reasons to go ahead and encrypt the hard drives of standalone computers, desktop computers, just like you would a laptop or a mobile device. If someone comes in after hours, steals a computer from you, you're still liable for that content, even though you had a security system wrapped in and around it. You are required to report that as a potential breach, privacy data loss. We need to make sure that we don't have to do that. We can eliminate that by encrypting the desktops as well. So that's a bit of physical security. We also can use things like lock cables, and lock cables make it very difficult for somebody to grab like a mobile device. Say you're using laptops in your practice, nurses and doctors are going back and forth. We can use lock cables on those so nobody can grab that and run with it. Lots of different things that you can consider there from a physical standpoint, and many more as well. But I think this gets the idea presented there that you want to look at your environment as if you are walking through it as a patient or just as a third party, and see exactly what exposure there might be to that information and what you can do physically to alter that.